Hi, everyone. Welcome to May Dollar Coins, where old coins meet big surprises. Today, we're diving into the legendary 1976 D Washington Bicentennial Quarter. You might have heard whispers that one sold for $1.6 million. Is that real? Or just a coin collector fairy tale? Stick around as we dig into the facts, the real values, and how you can turn your old coins into serious cash. Let's be clear. There is no credible evidence that a 1976 D quarter has ever sold for $1.6 million. So where did this figure come from? Likely from sensational headlines or social media that thrive on hyperbole. Recent research and auction records tell a much truer story. High-grade 1976 D quarters and MS-68 grade have indeed fetched thousands, not millions. For instance, a PCGS-graded MS-68 sold for around $5,170 coin week. More typically, MS-68 sales fall between $550 and $700. According to NGC records, coin week, even proof versions or rare errors don't come close to the $1 million mark. If someone claimed a $1.6 million sale, run the other way. It's almost certainly not real. Okay, so that's the myth busted. But here's what can make your 1976 D quarter valuable high grade, MS-65 and above, roughly $3,100, MS-67 slightly more coin identifier coin week plus one, typically $550–700. Coin week.error coins or varieties. A die cap error sold for about $2,180. Coin identifier coin week.double die or filled D errors also fetch higher prices, but still in the thousands. Not millions. Coin identifier SD bullion, not the 1976 D, but the S Mint Mark silver-clad MS-69 version, can exceed $5,000 SD bullion plus one. 1976 D quarters are common. Over 860 million were minted Wikipedia, so only exceptional condition or mistakes make a difference. If you've got one of these quarters at home, here's what to do. Use a loupe or magnifier. Look for anything unusual. Doubled lettering, missing lines, a filled or misshapen D, or die cracks. If it's just a regular worn coin, it's likely worth face value. If it looks uncirculated and sharp, it could be MS-65 plus, worth maybe $3,100. Send it to PCGS or NGC. Graded coins in MS-68, especially in error varieties, are where you see thousands, not millions, coin week buyers. The true silver versions, 1976 S, and major errors are what proudly command five-figure prices, but again, not millions. Why does the $1.6 million number keep popping up? Two main reasons. Big round numbers grab attention. Even if untrue, someone misread or exaggerated a rare error value, and it spiraled. There's no documented case of a 1976 D quarter selling for $1.6 million, so treat claims like that with healthy skepticism. If you discover your coin might be valuable, here's how to sell wisely. Get it graded. Certified coins command premium prices from serious buyers, reputable coin dealers, local or online. Auction houses like Heritage or Legend for rare types. eBay, but ensure you're detailed with photos and set a reserve. Be clear about grade, mint, mark, and any varieties or errors. Use terms like MS-68 certified or die cap error to attract the right collectors. Know the market. Don't fall for million-dollar hype. That'll just attract scammers. Base your price on comparable sales, thousands, not millions. So, did the 1976 D quarter sell for $1.6 million? Nope, it's cookie jar legend territory. But could your quarter be worth a few thousand? Absolutely. If you're lucky with grade or errors, if you found this helpful, like subscribe and hit that bell so you won't miss my next video on rare coin values. And drop a comment if you've got a coin you'd like me to look at. We can investigate together. Welcome back to MA Dollar Coins, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change and old coin collections. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins, the 1966 No Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. And get this. Some reports suggest it could be worth up to $1.5 million. But is that true? Stick around because I'll break down the history, the facts, the myths, and the real market value of this coin in today's market. Setting the stage. Now, if you're between 30 and 70 years old, you probably remember a time when finding an unusual coin in your change was exciting and sometimes profitable. Maybe you even tucked away a few quarters in a jar or old coffee can, hoping they'd be worth something someday. Well, the 1966 Washington quarter has become one of the hottest topics in coin collecting. Quick history lesson. Let's rewind to 1966. At that time, the U.S. Mint had just stopped producing silver quarters. From 1965 onward, quarters were made with a copper-nickel clad composition, no more 90% silver. Also, in 1965, 1966, and 1967, the Mint did not use mint marks. That means whether your quarter came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it carried no mint mark at all. This was done to discourage coin hoarding during the coin shortage of the mid-1960s. So yes, technically, every single 1966 quarter is a no mint mark coin. That's not an error. It was intentional. Why people talk about $1.5 million to min. So, where does the $1 million rumor come from? Some coin websites and viral posts claim that a rare 1966 Washington quarter sold for $1.5 million at auction. The truth? There is no official record of a 1966 quarter selling anywhere near that price. What has happened is that unusual error. Coins, like double strikes, off-center coins, or coins struck on the wrong planche, can sometimes fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. But a standard circulated 1966 quarter, that's worth 25 cents, unless it has something extraordinary about it. Here's the real scoop on the 1966 Washington quarter's value in today's market. Circulated condition, the kind you'd find in pocket change. About 25 cents. Face value. About $10 to $50. Some have sold for $1,000 to $2,000 rare mint errors. If your coin has a dramatic error, say it was struck on a silver planche by mistake or has a major double strike, those could go for $5,000 to $25,000 depending on rarity and demand. So while you won't get $1 million for your average 1966 quarter, you could have something worth thousands if it's a unique error or in top condition. If you've got a 1966 quarter lying around, here's what you should do. Off-center strikes, missing details, or wrong planche types. The fewer scratches and the more original luster, the more valuable. Normal clad quarters weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier, like 6.25 grams, it could be a silver error. Professional grading from services like PCGS or NGC can confirm authenticity and value. So, is the 1966 no mint mark Washington quarter worth $1.5 million? No, that's mostly myth. But certain rare varieties and errors can be worth thousands. Always check your change, search through your old coin jars, and if you find something unusual, don't rush to spend it. It might just be your ticket to a nice payday. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and share this video with a friend who might have old coins stashed away. And as always, happy collecting! Can a simple 1971 D Washington quarter really be worth $1.6 million today? You might be surprised. What seems like everyday pocket change could actually be hiding a fortune, and that's exactly what we're going to uncover in this video. So if you've got old coins lying around, don't go anywhere. You could be holding on to life-changing money. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1971, quarters were minted in huge numbers, over 256 million at the Denver Mint alone, marked with a small D right under the motto, "In God We Trust." Most of these coins are worth just 25 cents, maybe a little more if they're in great condition. But every so often, an error, a rare variety, or a perfectly preserved coin can push its value sky high. That's why collectors keep such a close eye on these quarters. So what makes one of these quarters worth $1.6 million? The answer lies in rarity and demand. In recent years, certain error coins, especially ones with unusual minting mistakes, have sold for astronomical prices. For example, some 1971 D quarters struck on the wrong metal planche, like a leftover silver or foreign coin blank, have become prized treasures in the numismatic world. Add to that the fact that pristine, mint state 68 plus or higher graded coins are nearly impossible to find, and suddenly what looks like pocket change turns into a record-breaking auction piece. Check below Washington's neck. If there's a small D, that means it was minted in Denver. Coins with scratches or heavy wear are worth little. Look for sharp details, minimal wear, and strong luster. Double dies, off-center strikes, or coins that look different. These could be worth thousands. Some rare quarters were accidentally struck on silver blanks instead of the usual copper nickel. Those are the real jackpot finds. Now let's talk money. A circulated 1971 D quarter is typically worth 25 cents to a few dollars. But in uncirculated condition, values climb quickly. $50 to $300 for mint state 65 examples. Here's where it gets exciting. A coin with a rare minting error, or one graded as near perfect by PCGS or NGC, can fetch thousands. And yes, one such coin reportedly hit the market value of $1.6 million, making it one of the most valuable Washington quarters ever known. So, what should you do if you think you've got one of these treasures? Don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can slash its value instantly. Reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and assign value. Auctions, coin shows, or trusted dealers are your best bet. Avoid quick cash offers unless you've done your homework. So, the next time you empty your change jar, remember, your 1971 D quarter might just be worth more than your car, maybe even your house. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting secrets, and drop a comment below if you've got old coins you're curious about. Who knows? You could be sitting on $1 million treasure. Imagine finding a quarter from 1984 in your desk drawer and discovering it's worth $1.6 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Especially when most 1984 D Washington quarters are only worth 25 cents. But what if, just what if, you might have something extraordinarily rare? Today we'll unpack the real value of these coins, explain how that $1 million figure could possibly happen, and how you can find out if you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Most 1984 D quarters were minted in Denver, about 546 million of them. Wikipedia. In standard circulation, they're worth their face value, 25 cents. Coin Identifier USA Coin Book. Even uncirculated, MS Plus, specimens generally fetch around $15 or more, not millions. USA Coin Book according to Bold Precious Metals. Gem quality 1984 D quarters graded MS67 may reach up to $780. Bold Precious Metals MS63. 5 MS65. 25 MS67. 550, 780 yellow bold. Precious metals up to $250, $250, $500, $200, $245. Coin value checker bold. Precious metals, 19984 D Spitting Eagle die crack error, up to $50. Coin value checker bold precious metals, other extreme error types exist, but for 1984 D, these are the most commonly documented and valued. No documented evidence supports a 1984 D Washington quarter selling, or valued, at $1.6 million. The highest verified figures for these coins cap at under $1,000. Numis lists potential values, up to $100,000. But that figure hinges on exceptional circumstances, such as a unique strike or provenance, and remains very speculative. Numismatic database, in short. If you hear $1.6 million, it's almost certainly hyperbole. unless backed by verifiable auction records or grading credentials. Inspect the coin closely, look for unusual features or errors. Check its condition and grade. Eye it for wear, luster, scratches. Get professional grading through reputable services like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm authenticity and suggest potential value. Consult recent auction results or price guides for comparable 1984D pieces. Prepare realistic expectations. Based on actual market benchmarks, rare but believable value remains below $1,000. You might not be holding a $1 million coin, but maybe a 100 coin, a 1,000 coin, or even a rare error worth more than face value. And that's already pretty exciting. By knowing the facts and taking smart steps, you avoid wild claims, save time, and give yourself a real chance to uncover legitimate value. After all, real treasure doesn't need tall tales to shine. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more real coin selling advice. Have a coin you're wondering about? Drop a photo or story in the comments. I'd love to help you figure out if it's worth more than pocket change. We're diving into the surprising story behind the 1997 D Washington quarter. Denver Mint common, right? Well, maybe not so common. Could yours possibly be worth $1.4 million? Let's uncover the truth. 1997 D Washington quarter. Do you really have a $1 million coin? Graphics of the coin's obverse, reverse, Denver Mint mark. The 1997 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver with a whopping mintage of about 599,680,000. Hardly rare, Wikipedia. It's made of copper nickel clad and weighs roughly 5.67 grams. Wikipedia coin identifier. This coin is a common sight even today, so why the excitement? Side-by-side values table. Circulated, uncirculated, high grade. For most people, a circulated 1997 D quarter is just its face value, 25 cents. In uncirculated MS-60 condition, it might go for $5, $20 coin identifier U.S. Coins Guide Coin Value Checker. Top quality coins graded MS-67 can fetch 50 plus coin identifier silver recyclers. The auction record is around $978 for a pristine MS-68 graded coin PCGS coin identifier. In fact, a needle-sharp MS-68 1997 D quarter sold for $1,708 ADAs, including buyer's fees in 2019 Coin Week. So yes, they can be worth a few hundred to a couple $1,000s, but not millions. So is the $1.4 million claim real? Almost certainly not, for a regular 1997 D quarter. That figure likely comes from rare error coins, fantasies, or marketing hype. Show error coins like off-center, die break, double die mint mark, clipped planche. Now let's talk error coins. These are where the real value lies. Off-center strikes. If the strike is shifted by 50%, value's around $80. Smaller shifts, typically $5 or $10 coin value checker. Raised lines caused by worn dies, generally worth $30, $50 coin value checker Wikipedia, struck through errors, often caused by grease in the die, can reach $60 coin value checker double die mint mark, DDMM. Inco D. We trust errors. Some listings show prices around $2,300 USD, approximately $1,800, eBay plus 1. There are also error listings, like clipped planche errors, fetching $100 or more eBay. While some individual listings might show higher asking prices, that doesn't mean coins regularly sell for millions. Let's address the elephant in the room, $1.4 million. So far, there's no evidence of any 1997 D quarter, even error. Varieties, selling for anywhere near that amount. The top documented sales max out in the low thousands, and certain rare modern errors in other series might hit tens of thousands, but not 1997 D quarters. Checklist graphic, condition, authentication, grading, reputable channels. So, if you think you might have a valuable 1997 D quarter, here's what to do. Inspect carefully. Look for odd mint marks, clips, off-centers. Get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC, especially for MS67 Plus or error coins. Research recent sales. Auction records give realistic price expectations. Choose a secure sales channel, auction houses or trusted dealers, over general marketplaces. To wrap up, everyday 1997D Washington quarters are common and worth modest amounts. Even high-grade specimens rarely exceed a few $100s. Only rare verified error varieties can push that into low thousands, not 1.4 million. If you've got one gathering dust, maybe take another look. It might surprise you. And if you enjoyed this myth-busting journey, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more coin investigations. Did you know a small piece of pocket change from 1965 could be worth a life-changing fortune today? That's right. One Washington quarter dollar, with no mint mark, has stunned collectors with a value reaching $1.6 million in the coin market. In today's video, I'll walk you through the history of this coin, why it's so rare, how to identify it, and what you need to know before selling a coin that could change your financial future. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, but 1965 was a turning point in U.S. coin history. Due to rising silver prices, the government stopped producing quarters made of 90% silver. Instead, they shifted to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Now here's the twist. During this transition, some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on older 90% silver planchets that should have been used for 1964 quarters. These error coins are extremely rare, and because they carry no mint mark, identifying them requires a careful eye. What makes the 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter so special is not just its age, but the mistake in its production. The U.S. Mint did not intend for any silver quarters to bear the 1965 date, but a small handful slipped through the cracks. Today, these coins are considered one of the most valuable transitional error coins in U.S. history. Collectors prize them because they represent the exact moment when America shifted away from silver coinage. If you've got a 1965 quarter, here's how you can check if it's one of the million-dollar versions. It must clearly read 1965. Silver quarters don't have the brownish copper line on the edge that clad coins do. Silver quarters weigh about 6.25 grams, while clad quarters weigh closer to 5.67 grams. A simple kitchen scale can reveal the truth. All quarters from Philadelphia in 1965 have no mint mark, but combined with silver composition, that's the jackpot. One of these 1965 silver error quarters recently sold for an astonishing $1.6 million at auction. That's why collectors, investors, and even museums are chasing after them. The value depends heavily on condition. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch dramatically higher prices. Even circulated silver 1965 quarters can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. If you believe you've got one of these coins, don't rush to sell it at your local pawn shop. Instead, get it professionally authenticated. Consider submitting it to a grading service. Compare recent auction prices. This ensures you don't accidentally let go of a million-dollar treasure for pocket change. So there you have it. The 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter. What looks like an ordinary coin could actually be worth more than most homes in America. If you've got an old jar of coins sitting around, it might be time to dig through them. Have you ever found a rare or unusual coin? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing your stories. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next Guide to Hidden Treasures in Your Pocket Change. We're diving into the buzz around the 1996 P Washington quarter, especially the wild claim floating around that some are worth $1.5 million. Stick around. I'll show you the real market value, why myths spread, and how you can get the most if you do decide to sell. The 1996 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia with a massive mintage of 9 to 25 million coins, so finding one isn't exactly rare gray sheet Wikipedia. In everyday circulated condition, it's worth about 25 cents. It's face value coin tracker's coin. Identifier. Even uncirculated versions, MS-60, MS-65, typically fetch $1 to $10 coin identifier. So where did the $1.5 million figure come from? Some rumors suggest there's a hidden error or special variant making it extremely valuable. But let me be clear. Unless you own an ultra-rare error like a mule strike, and for this particular date, none are documented at that level, there's no legitimate 1996 P quarter selling for that much. 25 of $1, $1 to $10, up to $2,000. In rare top-tier condition, coin identifier, up to $12 for high mint state coin trackers, $12 or more in uncirculated MS Plus condition USA coin book, readouts are 30, readouts are 85 in circulated condition. Uncirculated premiums apply NGC coin. Only exceptional rare error or gem grade examples, graded professionally, might reach quadruple digits, but nowhere near $1.5 million. True, some coins can fetch jaw-dropping prices, but it's usually for extremely rare minting mistakes like mules. A mule coin has mismatched obverse and reverse designs, something the U.S. Mint never intended. These happen rarely, and some have sold for six-figure amounts, but this isn't the case for the 1996 P quarter Wikipedia The Sun. Evaluate condition. Carefully. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Grading, MS, PR, etc. matters enormously. Get it professionally graded, send it to PCGS or NGC if you think it's high grade. Certification can boost value dramatically. Look. For legitimate errors, true mint errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or planche flaws can be valuable. But again, none of these are known to fetch $1.5 million for this coin. Realistic premiums are dozens or maybe hundreds of dollars for certain error types, eBay coin identifier. Check comparable sales use auction records, eBay completed listings, or price guides to see what similar coins sold for price charting coin value checker. Set realistic expectations. Unless your coin is a certified extraordinary rarity with provenance, expect a fair market price, likely well under $100,000. So, if you thought your 1996 P quarter was a gold mine worth $1.5 million, sorry to burst the bubble. But reality is still pretty good. Uncirculated examples can be worth several dollars to a couple of thousand, depending on grade and condition. If you're curious about grading, want help evaluating an error, or want to accurately gauge value, drop a comment or reach out. I'd love to help. And remember, knowing the facts can lead to smart, profitable decisions. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we talk about rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change, drawers, or old coin jars. Today's topic is one of the most exciting discoveries in U.S. coin collecting history. The 1968 no-mint mark Washington quarter dollar. Now, you might be shocked to hear this, but one of these coins has been valued at an astonishing $1.4 million. That's right. A single quarter that you or I could have spent on candy back in the day is now worth more than most homes. Before we dive into what makes the 1968 no-mint mark quarter so valuable, let's take a step back. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, honoring George Washington's 200th birthday. From then until today, it's remained one of the most recognized coins in America. In 1968, quarters were produced at different U.S. mints, most notably Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Normally, coins struck in Philadelphia had no mint mark, but by 1968, mint marks were reintroduced, and quarters from San Francisco and Denver carried their marks. So if you find a 1968 quarter with no mint mark, that's a serious error. And that's where the story of this million-dollar coin begins. Now, why is this coin worth so much? It all comes down to three words: rarity, error, and condition. Very few of these coins escape the mint without a mint mark. Only a handful are known to exist today. A mint mark error like this isn't just unusual, it makes the coin extremely desirable to collectors. The record-breaking coin was in near-perfect condition, professionally graded at a very high level. Collectors will pay exponentially more for coins that look uncirculated or flawless. Most 1968 quarters you'll find are worth 25 cents. But if you've got the no mint mark error, even in average condition, it could fetch thousands. And in top-tier condition, we're talking over $1 million. So, how do you know if you've got one of these rare quarters in your collection? First, look at the front of the coin, just below Washington's hairline near the date. Normally, you'd see a small D or S mint mark. If your coin is missing that mint mark, you might be holding something special. Next, check the condition. Does it look crisp, shiny, or barely circulated? If yes, it's worth getting graded. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning actually reduces its value. Collectors want coins in their original state even if they look a little dirty, because that's what most of us care about, still worth only 25 cents. Maybe $5 to $20, depending on condition, anywhere from $10,000 all the way up to $1.4 million. Yes, the $1 million value was achieved at a high-profile auction for a coin in absolutely pristine condition. But even a coin in decent shape can be life-changing money. Okay, so what should you do if you think you found one? Here's the process. Hold it by the edges, not the face. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Heritage Auctions, Stacks, Bowers, and others specialize in rare U.S. coins. They'll rarely pay full market value. Remember, the right buyer will pay you top dollar. The wrong buyer will give you pennies on the dollar. The story of the 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter, one of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history. If you're between 30 and 70 years old, chances are you've handled thousands of these quarters in your lifetime. Who knows? Maybe one of them slipped into your coin jar, coffee can, or old dresser drawer. Because the next big discovery could be in your hands. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who loves coins or is curious about hidden treasures. And let me know in the comments, do you collect quarters or have you ever found a valuable coin?
Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Ever wonder if that 1993 D quarter, or one just like it, could be your ticket to big money? Today, I'm diving into the fascinating world of the 1993 D Washington quarter. What makes it valuable? Where to look for rare error coins, and how you could have a mini fortune right in your pocket. Believe it or not, some of these have fetched nearly $1,500 at auction. Stick around, and let's uncover what you might be holding. Let's start with the basics. The 1993 D quarter was minted in Denver with an astonishing mintage of over 645 million coins. Wikipedia. Standard specimens, whether worn or even in mint state, are generally only worth about $1–2 depending on condition. U.S. Coins Guide Coin Identifier. Here's where it gets exciting. Value shoots up for rare, error coins. Let's explore some standout possibilities. MS-67. Gem condition. A top-quality 1993 D-graded MS-67 sold for around $560 at Auction Coin Identifier U.S. Coins Guide, according to recent data. Some high-grade MS-67 pieces can command up to $1,750 or more. Coin Identifier. One 1993 D came without cladding on the reverse, just copper. It was graded MS-62 red and sold for $155. Coin value checker. Another quirky one had a color variation due to grease on the die, listed for about $74 on eBay. High-leaf, low-leaf varieties. Though seen in other quarters, reports suggest similar error varieties on Washington quarters that can be worth $300 or $500 depending on condition. Facebook. Generally, the rarer the error and the stronger the condition, the higher the payout. So, how can you spot something extraordinary? Look for missing or uneven plating, especially on the reverse. That's a red flag. Magnify for struck-through marks. Examine both sides. Grease, debris, or die defects might leave telltale marks. Subtle design oddities, like extra or misplaced leaves, can indicate a variety error. High mint state, MS65 or above, boosts value dramatically, even without errors. Professional grading. NGC, PCGS, and slab certification validate rarity and condition, critical for commanding auction prices. Here's proof that these coins can deliver serious returns. An MS67 graded 1993 D quarter brought in 5 $16 coin identifier U.S. Coins Guide. Another website puts the upper range at $1,750 or more for top-tier MS67 coins coin identifier. Even a striking missing clad example fetched $155 coin value checker grease struck color variation, listed for $74. Not bad for a pocket find eBay. Imagine combining premium grade with a rare error. That's where real profits happen. Retrieve your 1993 D quarters. Give them a close look under light or with a magnifier. Compare with high-quality Q. Photos. Use official NGC or PCGS resources. Submit promising finds for grading. Yes, there's a fee, but it can easily pay off. Tap into coin communities. Post images to forums like RR Coins for feedback from experienced collectors. Reddit, auction houses, and reputable dealers are best if your coin is rare or high grade. Local. Shops might undervalue you. Zooming in on your quarter, maybe holding it in tweezers for dramatic effect. In wrapping up, a standard 1993 D quarter might be worth just a couple of bucks. But if yours is in superb condition or has a rare mint error, it could bring in hundreds, or even upwards of $1,500. Don't overlook your change. Precious nuggets might just be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure hunts, and share your finds in the comments below. You might just spark a jackpot discovery.